Hi everybody, Puffin here. Thanks for tuning in for another edition of Puffin's Pothead Passages. I've just been outside. It's a beautiful day here, and I had a bowl of the Critical Mustache. Was the strain that I go to the store called Livewell, Livwell, and they have a strain called Critical Mustache that was pretty good. But I had another one called Mountain Thunder left over from last time, and that was even better. So it was such a beautiful day, I went out for a second bowl this morning, and it just feels great. So if you've watched this before, this is the 6th edition in this series. I've done some other videos about the Bible and about Jesus, but this particular series I've labeled Puffin's Pothead Passages to fall in line with my Puffin's Pothead Pantry series to kind of brand things more together. So check out those other videos and my Puffin's Pothead Pantry series as well for some cooking recipes. But for now, I'm doing the Bible, King James Version, and I'm doing gospel reading. So I turned somewhere in the beginning of the book. Let's go here. We got Matthew 10:23. But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. I don't understand the second part about the Son of Man and going over the cities of Israel. I don't know what the implications that means, besides just you're not going to go over this whole area before something happens. The next line is, the disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household? They've called the master of the house Beelzebub. So I did a recent video identifying Trump as the Antichrist. It's interesting that this passage is what I turned to after doing that video. Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. What I tell you in darkness, that ye speak in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that ye preach upon the housetops. So he's saying, even though I'm telling you something secret, you'll reveal this to everyone eventually. But there's also this time phrase. I feel like I should go back and read a little bit more at the beginning of this as well. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father? But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear ye not, therefore, ye are more valued than many sparrows. So all of this is very kind of mysterious talk. It seems to have an obvious meaning, kind of. It's still somewhat elusive, and other layers of meaning. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. But whoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. Now, I've read this line before, and it's come up in my mind many times for the division that occurs between people. But the division that occurs between people because some people want to seek after the truth, and some people want to hold to their privilege or something. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So, again, to get to that criticism I just mentioned, that people wanted to keep their status. It's like, you can say, hey, I know that Jesus tells me to, say, give to the poor, but I'm going to save these millions of dollars for my family, for my kids, or I'm going to, save up millions of dollars to take care of my parents. And, maybe it costs millions of dollars. So I'm not criticizing the fact that that's what it costs. I'm saying the fact that every excess we take for our own comfort at the expense of someone else is choosing your family over general goodness. Now, maybe this isn't the only interpretation, but this is the first thing that comes to mind in my mind for the society that we live in today. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it. He that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. So this is all the if you're carrying the true message of the sender, then the receivers can detect it, and it can come in different forms. Some people can claim to send this message and not be sending it. Other people, I don't claim to be a Christian, but I do claim to believe in Jesus and to be able to help understand Jesus, and that's why I'm doing this. So even though I don't come in that form, you can tell that at least I'm trying, or that this is, the truth as I understand it. And I hope that it's conveying that I'm bringing the same message. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. I think that just means if you believe in something that's good, then that goodness is shared with you. The goodness does extend to you. And whosoever shall give in drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. So if you're refreshing, I did a video called Cold Water, singing the song that I think Justin Timberlake contributed to, a song by, I can't remember, I apologize. And it was at the time of Standing Rock. It's still the time of Standing Rock, but at the time when that was really in the media, the movement, the water protectors movement was really getting going, and people were starting protests around the country, kind of showing people how to protest and what things are about. And the government was being as bad as they could be. And cold water was something that we were protecting, that people were protecting by joining that cause, but also something that the police were shooting water cannons and tear gas and all sorts of stuff at the people, pushing them into cold water. It became a meaningful song to me at that time. And the meaning of the song is, I will jump into cold water for you. But it's also the idea of, I will give you cold water. I will protect the cold water for you, for the children. And all that's in this verse. So if I go back to the very beginning of Matthew 10, when he had called unto him his 12 disciples and gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. So this is after he's given them these powers. Now the names of the 12 apostles are these: the first Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, James the son of Zebedee, John his brother. Andrew is who I'm named after. Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the publican, James the son of Alphaeus, and Labius, whose surname was Thaddeus. Simon the Canaanite, Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him, or didn't, depending on which ones you read. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, into any city or the Samaritans enter ye not. So there's places not to go. That's an interesting thing. I don't think these boundaries that Jesus sets out is something I don't think later Christians have understood or appreciated. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely have you received, freely give. And this reminds me of when I was talking to someone on the internet once in an old pagan space forum. I believe a witch person or a magical person. And she said that she would like to have the power to heal people. But that would cause people to swamp her because of the great need of healing. And my first thought was, couldn't in your healing people power, couldn't you have the power to heal people of their lack of ability to heal people? Couldn't you make the type of healing that produce other people being able to heal? So it's what Jesus does here. And the idea is, instead of it swamping people with the need, the power spreads through people believing and understanding what it is. And yeah, you heal people of their inability to heal, and then everybody's healing everybody. And whoever city town you enter, inquire who is worthy. Oh, well, I missed some. Heal the sick. Okay. Provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses. So that's the whole verse right there. Just don't worry about money. Nor scrip for your journey, neither 2 coats, neither shoes, nor yet stays, for the workman is worthy of his meat. So basically, kind of like monks are instructed to do, you don't have anything, you don't have any possessions like Buddhist monks, and you go and you get a bowl of food and you give people blessings. And whoever city or into town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till ye go thence. And when you come into a house, salute it. So go to the people that can receive your message, the wise people of the town, or aware people of the town. And because they might not be the prominent people, they might be the unprominent people. But you go there and stay with them while you're there. And when you come to a house, salute it. Come into a house, salute it. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it not be worthy, let your peace return to you. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. It's this thing we somewhat understand. Verily I say unto you, it should be more tolerable for you in the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. So if you do brush off a city, that city's lost out on an opportunity that would have helped progress them. Instead, they can fall to ruin. Behold, I send you forth as a sheep in the midst of wolves. And that has everything to do with like people trying to tell everybody, hey, change your police. Hey, change your energy system. Like these are the people giving the message of the goddess, the message of the divine. And people are ignoring it, and we're suffering for ignoring the message when plenty of people are giving the message. And once we follow the message, we enter this holy city, this heaven on earth state, this everything's good. So these guys that are doing it in Jesus' name, that's some Antichrist stuff, but holding us back from Jesus' message, some Antichrist stuff, that are all epitomized in Trump, the Antichrist, like we shut them down. Once we shut them down, it's smooth sailing. Like we got this. Behold, I'll send forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents. I will send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents, as harmless as doves. All these times these right-wingers call us sheep when they're the ones who are being like herded and brainwashed. But they call us sheep. Like it's not always a insult either. Like it's a good thing to be in this case. Be the meek one who can escape even these wolves. Be wise as serpents, be wise sheep. So you're both snakes and sheep. And again, realizing that Judas was only doing what Jesus planned brings all this stuff back and turns things inside out in a way. So being serpents and sheep is good, like it is on the Chinese zodiac. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in the synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought of what ye shall speak, for it shall be given to you in the same hour that what ye shall speak. So I've followed this by I get high and I'll read this stuff and I don't know what I'm going to say. And that's, that's the plan. Give a chance for the Holy Spirit to speak through you, for the words to just take on their own life. You don't have to plan it. You just do it. For it is not that ye speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Yeah. So it says the Holy Spirit speaks through you when you prepare yourself this way. Open yourself up this way. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall raise against their parents and cause them to be put to death. That sounds so harsh, but I also think that it applies to belief. Like the son of a belief is another type of belief. The son of a good belief or the daughter of a good belief is also good, but the daughter or son of a bad belief is bad. But if you're the one who has a father or mother who has a bad belief, You kill off that belief. You don't kill off the individual, but you kill off that belief, and you don't adopt that belief anymore. Say you've been raised to be racist or something. You kill that off and you say, or my brother has this thought. Well, I cast that off. But it's not the person. This isn't like some sort of call to violence from Jesus. I think things have to be tried and understood. And so 22, back to where I started, I think. And you should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth till the end shall be saved. But when they persecute you in the city, flee to another. For verily I say to you, you shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. So again, as I said, I don't understand all of this. I'm not claiming to. Appreciate your comments any way you can fill in different parts of it. But what I do understand is that what people have glorified in themselves as being good Christians and good soldiers and good citizens and all this stuff is part of a bunch of malarkey. And it's time for no malarkey. Thanks, Joe. But let's get rid of your malarkey too. If you can forgive $10,000 debt with a swope of a pen, you can forgive $50,000 debt, or all of it, with a swope of a pen. Like your pen doesn't have a built-in calculator. Like, let's start getting real. And that's not the only criticism I have. It's just the first one that comes to mind. So, we have the opportunity and the calling and the duty to live up to the words of Jesus, whether we're the president or whether we're some person with a phone that can make a YouTube video. So do what you can do. And if you can do more, get to doing it. So do all that you can do. Be all that you can be. But the whole point of the Gospel of Judas is to replace this militarized government Christianity with another Christianity can still infiltrate the government and overcome the government, but perfect it. Can make the government good, can make the government truly open to all other religions, just as we realize, hey, we were wrong in Christianity to split into 400,000 different branches. That was all because of a basic misunderstanding that when the Gospel of Judas resolves that and all those 400,000 different branches come back together into one, you not only have more power, like in the traditional way that more has more power, you have a power that you've never had before because you're actually back in touch with the divine. Like, we've had things so wrong to demonize Judas, and we've had things so wrong that split us all apart. We get that right by removing the military, removing that side of government from the picture, and we fix it all. So I've got all the time I've got.